My name is Sully, better known as Pius. I can help with surahs, so I can recite.
My name is Suhaila, memorizing surahs, reading the Quran, and practicing the Sunnah.
My name is Mommy, better known as Ummi. Islamic education is key to the family. We tune in every day to learn something new, and SunnahFollowers is helping us, and it could help you too. Tune in every day for new programming. Stay tuned.
And much more.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet, my Lord. Get wet, get wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet. Getting ready for our conversation, deep and in-depth. Obligations are serious and need to be met, so I prepare so I won't forget. Go ahead and make a good intention. Yeah, yeah. You can write for some good things. Yeah, make a donation to the side and go from left to make it right. Just remember and don't lose sight. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal.
Hey, I got a couple questions for y'all. The first one, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your prophet? Now, I know this sounds crazy, but if you're one of those people that have been trying to get information and you come across this, or even this. All right, take a listen.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Sister Laila Nasheeba, the Managing Director and founder of SunnahFollowers Online Islamic University. As you know, we have classes every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we cover everything from Aqidah, which is your belief system, to Sirah, which are the stories of the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the story of the companions. Please join us every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are broadcasting and streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, DLive, Trovo, and Twitch. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Proper Aqidah, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah, Minhaj and Aqidah, actions speak louder than words,
Sunnah-following kids, come with me.
Gotta work hard to get to heaven. Treat the people good like the prophet would. Proper Aqidah, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah, Minhaj and Aqidah, actions speak louder than words,
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the SunnahFollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the conference, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at, right here on SunnahFollowers. Don't forget, donate right here to SunnahFollowers and Sadaqah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Message from SunnahFollowers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Solly.
We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of the law, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnah Followers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
Okay. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Maasidic Tafsir class. Yeah, let me type it here. Oh. Okay, and tonight we're going to be speaking about a term that we all hear a lot called the Fitrah. The Fitrah. This is another Arabic word that we hear a lot as Muslims, but most Muslims do not understand the true meaning of this term. In fact, it's because of this term that a lot of the African American, I'm gonna give you all the history. This is my thing. This term revert, you are not a revert. That is not the proper English to use. If you look it up in a dictionary, you will see. Instead, when you embrace Islam as your way of life and you were not raised upon it, you are not a revert. You are a convert. Convert. What is the meaning of the English word convert? Convert is an English word that means to adapt a new ideology, a new religion, a new way of thinking other than the way you were originally raised. Look it up in a dictionary. That's what convert means. Revert, on the other hand, doesn't refer to anything of a religious nature or an ideology. It refers to leaving one state of existence and going back to your original state. For example, an ice cube. An ice cube reverts back to water because it was originally created from water. So revert means to go back to your original substance, your original state of being. So when I hear new shahadas and old shahadas and other people use the word convert for revert for a person that embraces Islam, being a person that has a degree in English, it makes me go, ugh. It's amazing how urban and slang we have become in our English usage, because you're basically saying that you are going back to a sperm drop. That's what that means. When you call yourself a revert, you're basically saying that you're going, which you're not. It's impossible for you to do that. But you're basically implying that you're going back to a sperm and an egg, because that's the existence of us. Our original state, as Allah says, we come from out of the back of our father. Out of the back of the man comes his sperm, and then his sperm fertilizes your mother's age. That's rebirth. Convert, on the other hand, means to adapt a new way of life, a new religious belief, and a new ideology. So that's the proper word. That's why you will never hear me referring to anyone as a revert unless you go back to a sperm. You are a convert. But where do we get this from? Well, because a lot of people don't understand the meaning of the Arabic word fitrah. And by the way, revert, that term being used that way, was invented by the African Americans. And guess what? Where's my Dalil that it came from African Americans? For y'all who don't believe the African Americans are capable of anything, check any urban slang dictionary. Oh yeah, we have a new dictionary. It's been around since the 2000s. It's called the Urban Slang Dictionary. And you will see that revert and all of that is from, African Americans. They wanted to be, different with their terminology. And we have the Urban Slang Dictionary. It also includes a lot of hip hop phrases, like mashizzle, manizzle, all of that's in there too. So that's where it came from. The African Americans coined that phrase, not Europe. The African Americans coined revert that way, along with polygyny too. We'll talk about that in another class. But so today what we're going to do in this class is focus on what the fitrah truly is. I'm going to explain to you what it means in Arabic. What it translates to mean in English, and what the better term to use for it is. And I'm going to also explain in detail what it refers to, because that's what Sheikh Karim Abuzaid has eloquently, and beautifully done in this book. I really like how he put this in the English language for non-Arabic speaking people. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen and you guys can take a look-see at it. Yeah. Okay, the sister Savannah, you too, she says she's also an English teacher. She can't stand to hear the language butchered like that either. Yeah. The same way the Arabic people feel when they hear us mispronounce Arabic words. That's how I get when I hear English words, butchered like that too. It bothers all of us that went to school and got a degree in English. It's just how it is. That's the right brain. We're right brain people. People of language are right brained. Okay, so let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And by the way, Sister Savannah, I haven't seen you in a while. What you been doing? Working a lot of overtime or something? You been substitute teaching too? MashaAllah, it's good to see you back. SubhanAllah. Okay, guys, let me put this here. Yeah, Sister Sakina probably hates it too, to see the language butchered. Okay, so here it is. This is pages 34 through 37. I put 39. I don't know what was wrong with me today, but it's pages 34 through 37 is what we're going to be covering in the book. And by the way, for those of you who are new to my classes, please go to Amazon.com and purchase this book. It's written by Sheikh Karim Abuzaid. That's why I have his picture there, so you know who wrote it and where you getting your information from. And there's a picture of yours truly at the bottom. And yes, I know a lot of you asked that question. And are we brother and sister? Yes, we are. Sheikh Karim Abuzaid and I, we're brother and sisters in faith. And we're the same age. Oh, yeah. He's the same age I am. So give me the same respect you give him. Can y'all believe that? We the same age. Yes, we are. All right, so let's talk about the fitrah. Yeah, we are, for real. Me, him, and Jamali. Me, him, and Dr. Jamali. We're all the same age. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Fitrah. Fitrah is an Arabic word. And when, remember, we talk about all the time, because Dr. Asim, he's our scholar of the Arabic language here at SunnahFollowers. He has a PhD in the Fusha. And as he would tell anyone, one of the beauties of the Arabic language is one Arabic word can have 100 different meanings, unlike English, depending on how it's used. And what I like in this book is how Dr. Karim Abuzaid defined this into English, translated it into English. He said Fitrah is an Arabic word that can mean disposition. What disposition are you in today? What's your disposition today? That's an English word that's not used that much anymore. Not here in America, but it's a basic word, disposition. It can also mean the nature. The nature of something. It can also mean constitution. Or it can mean instinct. And that's a better definition for you guys here that speak English. Fitrah refers to the natural instinct. Okay. So Allah tells us in the Quran that when a human child is born, they come into this world with a genuine or sincere belief in Allah. And it's not just a human child, but all of Allah's creation. For those of you who don't know, the sun believes in Allah. The moon believes in Allah. The mountains believe in Allah. The angels, the cockroaches believe in Allah. The birds believe in Allah. The animals believe in Allah. Well, just like the rest of Allah's creation recognizes Him and His lordship, when we come into this world, from out of the womb of our mother, we too come into this world believing in Allah and His lordship. And that's what is referred to in Arabic as the fitrah. The fitrah is the natural instinct, your natural instinct that commands you to be good. It's the natural instinct that we all have to be clean too. It's the natural instinct that we come into this world as a creation of Allah having against what's bad and dirty. That's the fitrah. And the best English word to use is intuition. Now, what I want someone to do, can somebody go to dictionary.com and read to us the meaning of intuition? Fame, if you're here, please. Let's see if I can beat y'all to it. And I'm working 10 computers. What was the word I told y'all to look up? I forgot the word.
Intuition. I got it here.
Okay. Read
direct perception of truth, fact, etc., independent of any reasoning process.
Okay, y'all hear that? In other words, knowing the truth, independent of reasoning. What does that mean? We don't make no choices. You don't make no decisions. You just come here as an infant in submission to Allah. You can't take care of yourself. You can't do for yourself. All you know is that Allah is Allah. That's it. and that he is the Lord of all the creation. Now do y'all see why revert is not the correct word to use in English? You ain't no revert. You're a convert. Okay? But so the Fitrah refers to that natural instinct. You know how animals have instincts. Allah did not give a cat free will. The animals cannot make choices for themselves. The animals don't judge. All the animals do is survive off of instinct. And their instinct comes from Allah. That's how we come into this world. Just like the animals. Instinctively doing what Allah programmed us to do. Instinctively. All we know is Allah. Is Allah. And that's it. We don't think. We don't make choices. Nothing. In fact, we're dependent on our parents. We can't care for ourselves. Just like the animals. How is it that a cat, a dog can be born in the wild and they survive? They survive off of instinct, the natural instinct that Allah put in them to survive. And they believe in Him. That's part of their instinct. The same with us. We come into this earth, come into this world. All we know is where we came from. And we're going to talk about that. All we know is where we came from. And we don't even remember that. Okay. So, Fitrah refers to intuition. Fitrah refers to your natural instinct. Okay? Now, Islam. Islam is an Arabic word that means total submission. Total submission to Allah. And that's why our way of life is called the religion of intuition, or the religion of instinct. When you hear the Arabic brothers speaking in Arabic, and they say Deen el-Fitrah. Deen el-Fitrah are Arabic terms that translate to mean religion. Deen is religion. The religion of instinct. Also, the religion of human nature. Why do people refer to our way of life as being the religion of intuition, the religion of the human nature? Because the laws of our way of life and the teachings in our way of life are in total harmony with the norm and the natural instinct that we have as humans. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm not breaking this down simply. Just like that cat that this man is holding in this picture, that cat doesn't have free will, but it is in submission to Allah. That's why on the day of judgment, the animals will not be judged. The animals will not be held accountable. Neither will the sun, neither will the moon, neither will the mountains, neither will the birds, neither will the bees, neither will the cockroaches, neither will the trees. Okay? Because they have the natural instinct to believe in Allah. That cat is laying there in submission to Allah. And that cat is laying there loving its owner because its owner takes care of them. And so it's that cat's natural instinct to show affection. Since that cat can recognize that this man cares for it, it's that cat's instinct to show affection by purring and cuddling up to him. Why? To keep him taking care of him. That cat's natural instinct tells it that if it makes that man angry, he may throw it out. And even if that man threw it out his house, that cat will still do what Allah programmed it to do naturally, because that cat knows in the long run, we all go back to Allah, not that man. He's going to show his affection to that man. But if that man were to put him out the house, the cat would be like, well, another one bites the dust. Allah, show me what to do. The cat knows Allah got its back. Okay? That's the fitrah. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning. By the soul and the proportion and order given to it, and its enlightenment as to its wrong and its right. Subhanallah. This is one of my favorite verses of the Quran to ponder the meaning of. Why? Because here Allah is telling us in this verse that He created us with this capacity to believe in Him just as that cat does. He created us with this capacity to recognize what's good for yourself, just like this cat does. This cat knows if it doesn't show its gratitude to that man by purring and loving him, that man could toss him to the outside. He'd survive because Allah put that instinct to survive in him, but the cat knows it would be harder. He'd be cold. He'd have a hard time looking for food. He'd have to hunt. Well, Allah created us with this same capacity known as the fitrah. And that fitrah used to be attached to our souls when we were in paradise, wherever Allah keeps the souls with Him. Because when Allah created Adam, alayhi salam, after He had the soul breathed into Adam, Allah then ran His hand across the back of Adam. And when Allah did that, my soul, your children's soul, your grandparents, your great-great-grandkids, all the souls of mankind that will ever exist, all of our souls appeared. And then our Allah gathered us. He gathered our souls along with Adam at Mount Arafat. And He offered our souls the same thing He offered the cat, that cat there, and the sun, and the moon, and the trees. He offered us a thing called free will. That cat refused it. That cat's soul refused it. All the animals refused it. But man, we took it on. And as we talked about in our class yesterday, since we accepted the gift of free will, that's why Allah allowed Adam, alayhi salam, and his wife Eve to live in paradise that short time amongst the angels and Iblis. Allah said, since you, Adam, and your offspring accepted what the rest of my creation, other than the jinn, refused, out of my mercy, I am going to allow you and your wife to live here for a short time so you can learn what is pleasing to me. And in turn, when I put you on earth, you can pass it on to your descendants. And I'm also going to allow you to live here amongst Iblis, because you will learn how dangerous he is. You will learn not to ever trust him. And then in turn, you can pass it on to your descendants. Now, does everything make sense? Sister Layla, is Layla in our website, guys?
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Now, do you see how all the dots connect?
Yes.
So we all accepted free will. And Allah is not going to hold anyone accountable without teaching them what to avoid. So that's why he allowed Adam and Eve to stay there that short time. They knew it was a short time. They knew it wasn't going to be forever. Okay? So Allah created us with this capacity. Then he referred to it as the Fitrah in the Quran. And he refers to it as the Fitrah in the authentic hadiths. It's the state of purity, the state of innocence that every human being is born upon. We come into this world not using our brain. In fact, we can't even open our eyes and see in the beginning. We can't feed ourselves. We're totally dependent on our parents. All we know is we came from paradise and now we're in a different place because the Fitrah is no longer attached to the soul. Once Allah puts your soul into the womb of your mother, the Fitrah detaches from the soul and it moves to the heart. So the Fitrah is wondering, what's this strange place? I ain't at home. It's missing its home. What is this? What is this? I got hands. What is this stuff? I got fingers. I'm in a different thing. It's beating. You're not reverting back to that, guys. Revert is not the word to use when you embrace Islam. Okay? So, all newborns, our hearts, because that's where the Fitrah goes. Your Fitrah leaves the soul when Allah blows your soul into your mother's, into your womb, and it attaches to your heart. And your heart is filled with oceans of love, gratification, and recognition of Allah. And it will stay that way if it's not introduced to any biases. What does that mean? This means, again, the condition that Allah created for the soul is to be aware of its own ability to judge. There's no excuse for any of us as human beings to follow misguidance. There's no excuse for any of us as humans to say we're an atheist or any of that, because that Fitrah is in your heart. And instinct makes it recognize truth from falsehood, good from evil, filth from cleanliness. Just like that cat. That cat knows a litter box is dirty. When it's dirty, it's going to not use it if you don't clean it. That's natural instinct. Okay, so our souls, remember, Allah allowed Adam too and his wife to live amongst the angels to learn what's pleasing. Okay, it's up to your parents to have learned that from their parents and pass it down. But even if they don't, that fitrah that's in your heart, it's trying to find its way back to Allah. Is it a strange place? It's like, what? Oh, it don't remember anything. It's like, all I know is this is not good. I don't remember where I was. It wasn't here though. This ain't good. It knows this is bad. This is not good. So there's no excuse for us. Okay, hold on for 1 second, guys. Okay, hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. Let me mute this phone too. Okay, can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. I'll call it back later after this. Let me finish this. Every time I'm right in the share. Okay, here we go. Can y'all see me and hear me on your Zoom?
Yes.
And can y'all see me on YouTube? Is the PowerPoint still there on YouTube? Yeah. Okay, let me hold on. Okay, yeah, so I'm trying to break this down to y'all. Hope I got it right. Okay, so there's no excuse for any of us to say that we didn't know, because, when you hear the truth, that's why Allah says in the Quran, anyone. Now let me show y'all how the dots really connect. Allah says in the Quran, anyone who has heard of the Prophet Muhammad, who has heard of Islam, and they refused it, they'll be in the hellfire. Allah didn't say that somebody has to sit down and teach you a Tawheed class. Now do y'all see why? Because the fitrah in your heart recognizes the truth if it's heard. Do you guys understand that? Nowhere does Allah say that you have to take classes on Aqidah in order for that verse to apply, because there are some Sufis that are saying that, and that's not true. Because Allah created the soul, and it's aware of its ability to judge. We took on free will. You chose to reject the truth. The soul chooses to reject the truth if it's been told to them. Now, for those people that ain't never heard about Islam, that's something different. But for these kafirs that hear about us, know about us, they hear about us all the time. They are choosing to reject it because the soul is criminal by nature. The soul is attracted to what's bad and dirty. The soul doesn't want anything to do with what's clean and good. And listen to how Allah describes the seeding of the fitrah. Allah says, here's my dalil for everything that I told y'all about our creation. Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, when your Lord asked all of the offspring of Adam before their birth. Now, for the brother who's here typing that I'm talking nonsense, is Allah speaking nonsense. Allah says, when your Lord asked all of the offspring of Adam before their birth, am I not your Lord? All of them testified and bore witness to their testimony on the day of judgment, they will not say we were not aware. So I dropped my mic And again, guys, when I teach, I don't make up stuff like these other people. I'm teaching y'all true Islam with the clear evidence. There's my clear evidence that I didn't make this up. Also, we have this hadith here that points out the role of the devils in destroying your natural instinct to believe in Allah. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Behold, my Lord has commanded me to teach you that which you do not know of what he has taught me. On this day, all the wealth that I have bestowed upon a person is permissible. I have created all my servants with the inclination to worship Allah alone. But the devils come to them and turn them away from their religion. They forbid to them that which I have allowed them to do, and they tell them to associate others with me for which I have not sent down. Just like this brother is typing here in this Shahada group. He's one of the devils. He's a great example. And thank you for joining, Iblis Jr. Okay? We naturally, it's our instinct. It's our instinct to worship Allah alone. It's our instinct to recognize the truth. But Shaitan, Iblis, has his allies too. His allies amongst mankind and his allies amongst the jinn, who will do everything in their power to turn you away from that natural instinct to follow the true path. Also, the Prophet, here's my other dalil. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there is no child who is not born in a state of intuition, which is that natural instinct to believe in Allah. But it's his parents that make him a Jew or a Christian or a pagan. Just as animals bring forth animals with their limbs intact. Do you see any deformed one amongst them? And then the Prophet recited these verses. This religion is the original disposition from Allah upon which he originated mankind. There is no exchange for the creation of Allah. That is the most upright religion, but most of mankind do not know. So y'all see that. So our souls, before Allah had the angels blow my soul and your soul into our mother's womb, our souls were hanging around in paradise or wherever Allah keeps them, in submission to him, just like the angels, the Buraka and all the El Hurin and all the rest. Okay? But once we enter into the womb, the soul enters the womb of the mother, it detached, the Fitrah detached from the soul to the heart. And it's dependent on how your parents raise you. That's why Allah tells us in the Quran, what's your priority? You sisters, that's why I'm always emphasizing this with you women. I know you guys want a career and all of that, but your priority are your children. Listen to what Allah says. And the interpretation, the meaning, oh believers, save yourselves and your families from a fire whose fuel is people and stones, overseen by severe angels who never disobey Allah's orders. You have to, it's your job as a mother and as a father to teach your children Tawheed, to raise them upon the correct belief system, to nourish that natural instinct within themselves to believe in Allah and put him first and foremost. And a lot of us as parents are going to stand before Allah on the day of judgment and have to take a beating for that, because we made this dunya our priority. We made working and chasing after that American dream our priority instead of our children. Listen to what Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, said. He said, save yourselves and your family from a fire. He said, what is meant here is to teach them the religion. As parents, it's our job, everyone here, to protect our family by protecting their natural instinct to worship Allah and submit to Him. We have to remind our children of what their purpose in life is. Tell them to remember Allah, to obey Him, and to avoid disobeying Him. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses. It's not about being a Kardashian. It's about being an Abdullah, which means servant of Allah, subhanahu Allah. Okay? We also have this hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, command your children. In other words, make your children pray when they reach the age of 7, and discipline them for it when they reach the age of 10. And make sure you separate them from their beds at the age of 7. You should have your daughters. Every Muslim listening to me who has a daughter who is 7 years old, she should be wearing hijab. You don't wait till your daughters turn puberty, because when she turns puberty, she's no longer a little girl. She's a grown woman who can make a baby, and she's gonna want to go out and make a baby. So it's too late to make a woman put some clothes on when she's trying to make a baby. So your daughters should be wearing abayas and kimars at the age of 7 and praying at the age of 7, and the same with your sons. So as parents, we got 2 big responsibilities. Number 1, to protect our children's fitrah. And then the second responsibility is to help connect that child's fitrah to the Quran and to the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, with the understanding of those original companions. But unfortunately, most of us are failing as parents. Subhanallah. And because we fail in the formative years with our children, that's why our children grow up with hardened hearts, because they were raised off of the money and wealth of the dunya, but their parents did nothing to nourish their fitrah. So now, they're all about the dunya. Their hearts are hardened to Allah. Their hearts are hardened to the religion of Islam. Their hearts are hardened against submission. Instead, they want to give in to their desires of the flesh. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? I hope I broke this fitrah down in plain English.
Okay, Sister Laila, yes.
Okay, good.
So let me make sure I understood this, because I know you have said it multiple times. I'm just making sure I got it.
Okay.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had our souls, and we all submitted to Him. And then those souls were inside our mother's wombs, and that fitrah broke off of the soul and went to our hearts. So that's why you always tell us purification of the heart, because the fitrah is attached to the heart.
Exactly. And the soul is criminal, because now that the soul doesn't have a fitrah in it, that's what Allah says in the Quran. That's what He means when He says that the soul is criminal by nature. That's a verse in the Quran. The soul is attracted to everything that's bad and dirty because it used to have the fitrah in it, but it doesn't anymore.
So since the Fitrah is gone, it's attracted to everything that's bad and dirty. The Fitrah is in the heart. And that's why the prophet said the heart is good. The heart is inclined towards good, whereas the soul is inclined towards evil. That's why we have that Arabic term, jihad an-nafs, the struggle between the soul and the heart. We're always caught between the two because the heart wants to do what's good and clean, but the soul is attracted to what's bad and dirty. That curiosity of the soul is what kills us. The soul wants to know what it feels like to smoke weed. What it feel like to get high. The heart is telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But I'm curious. That curious part is the soul. You know, I want to know what it's like to have a boyfriend. The heart is telling you, no, don't do it. It's bad. It's dirty. Don't. But the soul is saying, yeah, girl, it might feel good. So that's jihad and nafs, which is another topic. When you hear people talking about the struggle between the heart and the soul, you know, we're always struggling between what's good and clean and what's bad and dirty. That's us as humans. We took on free will. The animals were intelligent. They refused it. Allah offered it to the sun and the moon. They were intelligent. They refused it. The jinn took it, and so did us. Allah offered it to Iblis and his offspring. Those idiots accepted it. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, says that Iblis is the father of the jinn. He says, just as Allah created Adam and then ran his hand across the back of Adam and our souls appeared. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, said that Allah ran his hand across Iblis. And that's when all the souls of the jinn appeared. The jinn were created before us. They were stupid too. They took on free will too. So that's why the ones that will be judged out of all the creation are us and the jinn. Man and jinn. The animals, the birds, the bees, they will simply settle the scores amongst themselves and disappear. That's it. Settle the scores mean whatever injustice they did to each other, they have to settle that score, then they'll just vanish. That's it. They are more intelligent than us. Exactly. The sister is asking, so when a cat has kittens, that yes, the angels blow the soul into the animals too. Animals have a soul. That's why we can't draw them. Yes, Allah has the angels blow the soul into them too. Their souls are already created too. Remember, Allah said the animals refused it. Allah keeps the souls of his creation wherever he keeps them. Only he knows where they are. But when your cat got pregnant, Allah had an angel blow whatever soul of them kittens are into the cat. Yeah, they got souls too. Yes. Any other questions?
Sister Laila, can I read? You have a question in Zoom.
Okay.
It says, Sister Laila, is hair transplants okay since the hair that will be transplanted is cut from the back of the person's own hair?
Who is that asking that question? Just out of curiosity.
Sister Umibel.
Oh. I was saying, we talking about the picture of somebody coming at me about some hair transplant. Since it's your own hair, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. That's not a wig. Y'all know the difference between a wig and your own hair? That's not the same thing. Yeah. Okay, any other questions?
I have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so it's in the Quran, it says, oh my Lord, because you misled me. Iblis is gonna say, oh Allah, it was the qadr of Allah that misled me. And then Adam said the same thing to...
No, that's not true. Who told you that?
It says, "Oh Lord, because you misled me." It's verse 15:30.
No, this is why y'all have to. You guys need to have a Tafsir book. Whenever I don't need it because I know the hadiths. When you guys, when y'all read the Quran, make sure y'all have Ibn Kathir, and I think his is all in English. Ibn Kathir's Tafsir. Iblis didn't say that Allah misled him. No, that's not what that means. Remember when we talked in this class about the science of connectivity and how when you guys, that's why you have to be very careful. And I tell y'all, when y'all read the Quran, have a Tafsir book with you. Because Allah didn't mislead anybody. Astaghfirullah. Iblis has free will, just like Adam had. Iblis chose to disobey Allah. Allah just knew he would do it. But Allah did not make Iblis do anything. Just like Allah doesn't make you or me do anything. Allah sets the scenario. Allah creates the circumstances, and then he sits back to see what you gonna do, but he already know. So Allah did not make Iblis do anything. The verse you're talking about is speaking about how on the day of judgment, Iblis will stand before the people, not Allah, all of the people that will be led into the hellfire. Iblis will stand before them and say to them, "Don't blame me." He said, "I didn't make you do anything because I don't have the power. All I did was whisper. You chose to listen to me. You chose to follow me, but don't blame me because y'all going to hell with me." So that's what he's talking about. His heyday. How we cannot say that the devil made me do it. And that's a Christian thought. The Christians they say the devil made me do it. The devil didn't make you do anything. Shaitan doesn't have that power. All he could do is have your jinn whispers to you. You choose whether you're going to listen to the jinn or not. So that's what that verse is talking about.
You know, the verse you were talking about that Adam and Musa alayhi salam had a dispute about. Adam says, "Oh, it was the qadar of Allah that I did this." But how do we know that some people won't say that, like a sister does something?
They do say that, and these are the Muslims that have aqidah issues. That's how you can tell a Sufi. Remember I told you the other day? That's how you can tell a Sufi. They blame everything on the qadar of Allah, and that's not how Islam teaches us. No, that argument between Moses and Adam, I told you guys are reading the English transliteration of 2 or 3 sentences. And a lot of these hadiths do not translate into English correctly. The wording can be very misleading. That's why you have to know that Fusha, that's the other science of the Quran and the science of the Hadith. You know, no, that's not what it looks like that because it's bad translation. I'm going to translate that Hadith to you in better English. When Moses and Adam, which I did the other day, you must have been out milking the cows. Because that's the Hadith.
No, I heard it, but I didn't get it. I remember you saying it, so I guess that's why it stuck with me. And I was like, I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, so. What happened was Moses, when he met Adam, he said, "Oh, you the one that got us kicked out of paradise." I'm just saying it like this in English so y'all can understand. Okay. And Adam said, "You the one that Allah spoke directly to, but you still couldn't control your temper." And so then Moses said, "Well, at least I ain't get us kicked out of paradise." And Adam said, "Wait a minute. I didn't get nobody kicked out of paradise." He said, "Allah decreed over 50,000 years. And this is another hadith. This is another part of that hadith that you'll find later. Allah predicted 50,000 years before I was even created that he would place a caliphate on earth. And that caliphate, that's us, as human beings. And that earth would serve as the testing ground for them. And they'd have to earn the right of paradise. He said that's what Allah wrote 50,000 years in his book before he even created me. He said, so how can you blame me for what Allah decreed 50,000 years before I was even created? So that's what that is. It's just bad translation.
Oh.
And then when he told Moses that, Moses has got, I didn't know. He didn't know. Moses didn't know that. Okay. So Allah decreed that the earth would exist as a testing ground for us over 50,000 years before he created Adam. Okay, so how can you blame him, he was saying, for something Allah decreed before I was even in existence? So in other words, he was checking him. I didn't get you kicked out of paradise. It was Allah's decree that we earn paradise. He never decreed for humans to live there forever. That's a misconception. But believe it or not, a lot of Christians believe that to this day. To this day, a lot of Christians believe that.
You say that we got kicked out of paradise. This is a different paradise than what we're going to go to, God willing. This is a different paradise, right?
No.
You said they got kicked out of paradise.
Yeah, but no, the thing is kicked out, but that doesn't mean it. Oh, God. Allah didn't create Adam to live there. He created Adam to live there temporarily to learn how to earn his pleasure and learn what to avoid from Iblis. He kept him there, but it was never Allah's plan for Adam to be there forever. It was his plan to keep him there for a short time, to teach him what's right, teach him what he should do and what he shouldn't do, so he can pass it on to us. But Allah did not create Adam to live forever and ever in paradise and never be on earth. Now I'm using better words. Was that better for you?
Yes,
take the word
yes.
kicked out. I thought you'd understand kick out. I guess you did. So.
But you know what? Also, it made me think too, Allah always give us good. He always starts us with good. So paradise was the best of the best. So he started off with his creation in paradise, showing the good. That's the mercy of Allah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could say that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Allah's mercy, he's not going to just throw you out in the wolves without letting you know how to survive it.
Right.
That's why he kept him and let him and Eve live there for a short time so they could see how to survive, how to be cautious of Iblis, to never trust him, and learn that Allah loves prayer, Allah loves kindness, and all of that stuff. He taught Adam the names of everything. He wasn't just going to throw him on earth and just say, here, fetch it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Islam, and that's why Islam appeals to the natural intuition of the human, because Islam makes sense. When you guys learn this religion, new shahadas, pay attention. When you learn this religion the correct way, everything falls into place. Everything makes sense. Why is it that Muslims today are out of it? Because they didn't learn the correct way. Why is it that Muslims today cannot handle the wars that's going on? Because they didn't learn the religion the correct way. Why is it that we can't handle divorces? Because we didn't learn the religion the correct way. Why is it that we sin? Everything begins with and ends with Tawheed. That Tawheed al-Rububiyah that I'm always talking about. That the other women call me a Wahhabi for. Oh yeah. I've been using that term a lot. Because I say Tawheed al-Rububiyah, I'm a Wahhabi. Well, I'll be your Wahhabi. Okay? But because we don't understand Tawheed al-Rububiyah, which is the lordship of Allah, this is why our lives are horrid. But for those of us who do, everything connects, everything is balancing out, like you guys here. Like Brother Edward is saying, he said his life is so much better now that he understands the true way. Like Sister Savannah's just typed here. She said she never understood this stuff until I explained it. Like Sister Abdul is typing here. Abdul says, she says, I was born Muslim. I'm from a Muslim country. She said, but I've never had a daya in Arabic or English break it down like Laila. So there it is. When it's taught the correct way, it makes sense. Because Islam appeals to the common sense. Exactly. Good job, Ayah. That's why the Prophet said anyone with common sense can understand this deen. How old was Ali when he converted to Islam? 8 years old. A lot of the companions converted when they were 8 years old because it appeals to the common sense. Okay. Sister Ikis, I don't know, because I've never, like I say, but I guess any Tafsir book is good. If you got, it does, if it's a bridge, I don't know what that is, because I never use Ibn Kathir or anyone else's, because I know the hadiths, but any of them I heard is good. They're better than nothing. That's what Sheikh Morsi and them say, and Dr. Jamali too. They all say any Tafsir, it's better than nothing. It's better than reading and doing like Sister Laila did. She totally misconstrued that verse. Woo! No. It's better than nothing. Yeah, because it'll help keep you a little bit on balance. Yeah, the Quran is badly translated. The clear Quran is a lot better, but even still, some Arabic words that just don't translate into English well. The hadiths are the same way. How do I know them? My teachers are like Sheikh Morsi. He's a scholar of the Fusha language too, and he lets me know. And Dr. Asim. Exactly, just like that hadith. You're right. The hadith about the cats. That hadith, and it's authentic. It's Sahih Bukhari, where the Prophet says you cannot buy or sell a cat. So a lot of us thought, including me, we can't buy or sell a cat. All my cats are adopted. Until Sheikh Morsi came in here. Sheikh Morsi said, Laila, you have to read the Fusha. He got on me. You got to read the Fusha. I said, well, what does it mean in Fusha? In Fusha, the word is wild cat, like a tiger or a lion. I said, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, he said that hadith is speaking about a wild cat. A lion, a tiger, a wild dog. What's a wild dog? A wolf, a hyena, a dingo. That's the stuff that's haram. Yeah. So that Fusha is important. A lot of these hadiths, you walk away like thinking something that ain't it. You got to know that Fusha. All right, guys, I'm going to close out for tonight. Please make sure you guys are here. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? What is tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah, be here tomorrow. What classes we got?
Study at 9:30.
We don't have Brother Youssef or none of them?
No, just you.
Oh, okay. Just me. Okay. That's a break. I don't have to do no streaming except my own. So my class at 6:30 and my class at 9:30, inshallah. New shahadas be here. Old shahadas too. And make sure y'all check out the shorts on the YouTube page. I put out some shorts from Jamali's class yesterday and mine from the other day. Yeah. You want me to make some of this? I don't know. It's hard for me to do my own shorts. I'm very critical of myself. Very critical. Extremely critical. Okay. Yeah, and please support us. Yeah, you can donate, guys. Cash App. You see it there? SunnahFollowers is all one word. The Cash App. You can also use Zelle to donate. Zelle is better because they don't take no monies out. Yeah, my email address, LAI. I do not spell my name with a Y. You know I got to be different. LAILA at SunnahFollowers.net. Yeah, that's for Zelle. And we prefer, what's the saying, y'all? We prefer the kind that folds, not the kind that jingles. What movie is that? Brother Edward, Savannah, Amatula. Y'all know what movie that is? Please donate. We prefer the kind that folds, not the kind that jingles.
Coming to America.
That's right. Coming to America. Coming to America. What that Arsenio Hall do? The preacher. Yeah, please donate. We prefer the kind that folds, not the kind that jingles. Yeah, I'm kooky. Nobody gets my 1980s trivia stuff. All right, guys. Inshallah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Everybody have a good night. Assalamu alaikum.